Hi, it's Paul here. It's great to be with you again for our thought for the week. Today I am doing this from a different spot. As you can see, it's not in the office or the garden or where I've been doing it over the last number of months, but we are back in work at the moment. So I'm here in our office in college, and I just thought it'd be an interesting thing to just sort of let you into where my head's been over the last few weeks. It's been an interesting time. We got back from holiday and immediately into quarantine. We've been to Gran Canaria, had a great time, it was lovely, but obviously then 2 weeks of being at home and not really leaving the house. And during that time, just kind of getting ready for coming back into work, first day back into college today. Just give me a bit of time to think about what have I learned over this period of time of quarantine. It's 5 months almost to the day since I walked out of this office, and then here we are again now, and that time has passed. And I think there's been a number of things I've learned about myself. Number one, the first thing I learned is I'm actually a little bit happier in my own company than I thought I was. I'm the kind of person who likes to be out and about and doing stuff, and I remember, some of you will remember, maybe I bet it's 10 years ago now, there was an occasion where we had a snow day, and then that snow day became a snow week, and you couldn't go into work. Man, I had cabin fever. I was climbing the walls. I couldn't cope with being inside for that period of time and not really doing that much. So when this was all announced, I thought I was going to struggle, but in reality, I've actually found it okay. And I think part of that, one of the big chunks of that, has been about routine, keeping routine going. For a significant amount of this time, a lot of my day was spent speaking to students on the phone or speaking to players. And for those of you who don't know, I spend a big chunk of my week working in education and a little bit of my week working in sport. And having that time to speak to the people who would be working with face to face, but doing it over Zoom or on phone calls, I found very early that having routine was something that was going to help me. I got up at the same time, I did my work day, my generally roughly the same hours, and tried to keep to that kind of structure to my day, and that certainly helped. So one thing I learned is, number one, having a routine helps, but keeping that routine and keeping a relationship with people, talking to people, even if it's not in the same room, but it might be online or on the phone or whatever, those kind of things have meant that actually I was okay with my own space. And obviously having being married and having a lot of time in the house with Rach has been a good thing. I think the second thing we learned is that it's really important to talk about how you feel in a relationship. We're not a couple who argue, we never have been, but let's be honest, everybody gets a little bit touchy when they're in each other's personal space all the time. We made a decision very early on. We were just going to let each other know how we were doing, and if we're having a bad day, tell each other we're having a bad day, give each other a bit more space. So that's the second thing I've learned in our relationships. Keep that honesty and that conversation going, because it really does help in keeping you closer together. Another thing I've learned is the importance of carving out time in your day to spend it with God. That made a massive difference in my time, particularly through lockdown. I'm not a big reader. That might surprise you, but I'm not. But finding time in my day to read my Bible. We've been using Bible reading plans on the Bible app as a missional community, as Yak, and reading the same bit of the Bible together each day at different points, but then having comments and conversations about that. We've learned from one another, and we've learned from God as we've kept that relationship with Him going. At the moment, as a church, we're reading through John's Gospel together, and it's great to do that, to carve that time in your day, so that God isn't a hobby, is He? He's a person we have a relationship with, and spending that time to worship, whether that be with music or with thought or in prayer, reading the Bible, has been something which has really helped to keep my day having that routine and keeping that structure. So that's the third thing I learned, the importance of carving time in my day to spend it with God. And then the fourth thing that I think I've learned about myself through this is just, I think I knew it already, but it's been even bigger, just the importance of relationships, the importance of having time with people who matter to you, whether that's virtually or whether that's as lockdown started to lift, by actually getting to see people again and spend that time. let's keep that value on relationships. In a few weeks' time, we're going to be having our open celebration. If you're not booked in for it, get on. The numbers are limited, so get onto Eventbrite and get booked in. It's going to be a great time together. But I'm just so excited and looking forward to being in that big space again with people. Relationships really do matter. So the other things I've learned: number one, routine and structure will help us in our days. Number two, having honesty and openness in conversations with the people who really are the closest to us, whether that's your partner or your family, whoever it is. Number three, carving out time in your day so you can spend it with God and listen to Him and chat to Him. And then number four, the value and the importance of time with those people who we really love and who we care for and who are part of our world. I hope that as we come back to some kind of normality, whatever that new normal looks like, I hope that those things will be stuff that I carry on investing in. And I invite you to do the same. Maybe have a think. It's a good thing to do. Just have a stop and think this week. What have you learned about you through lockdown? What have you learned about your relationship with the people closest to you? And thirdly, what have you learned about your relationship with God? How can you let those lessons be stuff that really helps you as we go forward into our new normal? So God bless you and enjoy the rest of your week. It's going to be a good one.